Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's B. Avery here for another episode of Just My Opinion. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And with this episode right here, we are talking WandaVision that is on Disney Plus. And this show just keeps getting better and better and better and better and better with each episode. I mean, my goodness gracious, the sky is the limit with these Disney Plus shows, with these Marvel movies, with the whole MCU, and I loved it. But y'all, this is episode 5 right here, titled On a Very Special Episode. And I want to let you know that this is going to be a spoiler-filled recap. I'm going to spoil this up, down, left, right, in, and out as if you've already seen the episode. So if you don't want to be spoiled, go away now. You have been warned. This is completely spoiler-filled. And I know my video is a little late right now, but that's okay. That is okay. I know that we're going to talk about this big reveal that happened at the very end of the episode, but it's at the very end, so we can't talk about it yet. But my goodness gracious, I cannot wait for episode 6. Oh my gosh. But anyway, I'm loving what they're doing with the show because like the first 3 episodes was strictly, for the most part, Wanda, creating her reality in this sitcom television show. And then episode 4 is where we got majority of things happen on the outside and the introduction to S.W.O.R.D and all that good stuff, Monica Rambeau. But I like in this episode, it is a bit longer. It's about 45 minutes. And we get a combination of the show and also what's going on in the real world. And I like that. And I hope that they continue to do that throughout the rest of the show, throughout the rest of this season. I just think that's very, very clever. And, everything is paying off from the first 3 episodes, when some fans were impatient. But we have the very beginning of this one right here, and Wanda and Vision, they're doing their little, we're in the 80s right now, and they got the babies, and, they're trying to make the babies go to sleep, and things are just not working out. I like all the jokes and the banter with Vision having the, the pacifiers in his ears and stuff, and, because the babies are crying. I'm loving all that. And for some reason, I don't know why Wanda is not able to use her powers on the babies. She's trying to put them to sleep, but for some reason it's not working. Just like in episode 3 when she was trying to make the stork disappear, and she was doing her magic or powers, and it was like red poof smoke, and the stork wasn't going away. So I really want to know what's going on with this right here. But, Agnes comes through the door unannounced, and I like how Vision is trying to hide himself behind the pillow, and it's just weird to me how Agnes just comes inside the house wanting to know what's going on. She doesn't, knock or anything. And, it's just kind of funny, she's trying to help. She's trying to put the babies to sleep. But like right before that, Vision's like, hey, did you wash your hands? Don't worry about it. But Agnes snaps out of character and is like, hey, do we need to do this again? How about we take it from the top? Let's get a second take, And Wanda's like, what's going on? And Vision is seeing that. He's like, what the F is going on? What's up here? This is just weird. This is weird. He's asking Wanda, and Wanda's playing dumb, but, we'll talk about that later. And it's so interesting to me, like, she says it's not my fault that Agnes has a high libido. And like, she in the first episode or the second, she was talking about Lucy and Goosey, or teach Ralph how to goose. And now she's like, you can't tame this pony, or whatever she said. It's funny. I like her character. I can't wait till we get a reveal of who she really is in all of this right here. But Vision is just not buying it or whatever, as Agnes is over there trying to spray her lavender. But they finally go to sleep, the babies, and then, this is where they age up. And I'm just like, okay, wow. Agnes can now see Wanda doing the powers now. Vision was trying to hide that, but now the cat is out the bag. And the babies are no longer babies. They're like 5 or 6 years old. And so, that's kind of interesting there. I like the first scene, but like I was just saying how, this episode, I like it because they're switching from the sitcom aspect and going to the real world. That's where things take us to the real world. But I like this transition scene that they have right here. It's like the opening theme song for the WandaVision show, showing all the pictures and all that, and the nice WandaVision. And like the picture comes up, I'm liking all that. I'm feeling all that. That's pretty dope right there. But next scene we have right here is Monica Rambeau. And I'm loving this scene right here too. I'm loving Teyonah Parrish in the role, because she got thrown out of Westview in the last episode, but now she's coming too. Last time we seen her, she's like, it's all Wanda. But now she's coming too, and they're trying to get some answers. But as she's waking up, we see her talking to like what's his name? Hayward is like talking to her, trying to get some information, and she's like, it's a hopeless feeling. It kept her feeling like she was drowning, and like it was grief. Like a hopeless feeling. It feels like she's drowning, and it's grief. And so she's just like, yeah, Wanda is controlling all this. And she's they're just trying to figure out what's going on. Now, Darcy I like how Dr. Darcy, I forgot her last name. She's coming in now, and she's really excited to meet Monica, and I like that. I think that's pretty dope right there. Also, something that stands out to me, I'm not sure if Monica has her powers yet, but it's a possibility because, she was under Wanda's control, and she got thrown through the force field. So that's possibly maybe what gave Monica her powers. Only reason I'm bringing it up is because, when one of the lab technicians is trying to get more reading, like a blood sample, she has the tablet and it's blank. She's like, hey, we need to take another test because I don't have a reading. And, Monica's like, no, we're good on that right there. But, this is where she's talking to Jimmy, and I like Jimmy, and I also like Darcy, and of course I like Wanda, but, they go to the briefing scene next. And Hayward is kind of just showing his ass right here, okay? Like, I've seen this episode a few times now because it's just so good. The first time I was just like, okay, Hayward, you're being a dick. I don't like you. What's going on? But the second time I watched it, I'm like, okay, well, actually, I kind of see where you're coming from. Like, it's not like you're making stuff up. Not Wanda, but Monica did say this and that about, it's excruciating and all this stuff. And then the third time I watched it, I'm just like, I don't know where I lie. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like somewhere in the middle. It would have been nice if he, I don't like his character, but I'm just like, bro, you could have talked to Monica before you had this briefing, and Jimmy, since y'all are all the leaders in some form of respect. So I think that's just kind of interesting right there that, I still think he's kind of just showing his ass, but he's calling like Wanda a terrorist, and Monica's like, she's not a terrorist, and I like the banter of them going back and forth. And he's just like, I mean, she is holding thousands of people hostage, and, she is or whatever, and they didn't even know that, he finally got the authorization that morning to show Wanda coming into the facility and kind of wrecking shop and stealing the old corpse of Vision's body. So that answers some stuff right there. Like, I don't know how she's reanimating his corpse, but she's doing something that's just pretty crazy. And they didn't know that. And like, I didn't really catch it the first time when he said I didn't get authority, because I'm like, wait a minute. If they've been knowing that Visions was stolen, like, why don't all this information come out, from the 4th episode? But it's because it was top secret. So, but I really am feeling that scene right there, and how, seeing everybody go back and forth. Now, this next scene right here, just going back to the sitcom thing. I like how they're going back and forth. And we see, Weekend in Speed, Wanda's kids, on the sink, trying to wash the dog, and, she's trying to make it Sparky, and she's trying to make it Sparky. They're trying to come up with a name, and they come up with the name Sparky. But Vision comes in there or whatever, and he's just like, huh, she's like, why are you so formal? He's like, oh, I just have a hunch that I just need to be ready, for something that just may pop up. And then he's just talking about Agnes coming in, and she has the doghouse. And I like the line that he was saying. It's like, oh, she's coming in with exactly like what we need, and I'm just like, okay, what's going on right there? He's like, what's going on? Something is not right. And I am really feeling this. But she brings the doghouse out of there, and Wanda's like, hey, y'all are not old enough for a kid. They age themselves to 10 years old. Vision is over there like, what the hell is going on? And then, Agnes is in the back dropping her jokes. I'm like, oh, let's just hope that the dog doesn't change size. And so I'm liking that right there too. And now, like I'm saying, another reason why I'm really feeling this episode, because they keep going back and forth. And now we're going back to the S.W.O.R.D headquarters. And Monica, Jimmy, and Darcy are just trying to figure out what's going on. Monica wants to go back into Westview, and she's trying to come up with some type of vehicle. And they're trying to, figure it out and come up with these theories. And she's like, hey, I can't guarantee anything. And she's calling it like this hexagonal shape, and we know that the hexagon shape has been like everywhere or whatever. And it's just kind of funny. She's like, hey, you called it the hex, but they're just trying to figure out what's going on inside the bubble. Duh, that's what makes sense logically. And they're just trying to determine if everything is like a mental construct or is it actually real. And, Darcy's like, hey, if everything is like really in there, like it's actual solid matter, that just goes to show just how powerful Wanda really is. And like, of course, we all know that she's like super duper powerful. And so this is crazy. And I like all the little Easter eggs that they're dropping right now. And she's saying like, hey, she could have took out Thanos by herself and like he rained fire. And, and I was kind of just like, okay, how did they know about all that that's going on? I mean, I'm sure that they can come up with something. They can write something in future episodes or somewhere down the line in MCU. But she was like, yes, nobody else came close. And Jimmy was like, yeah, well, I would say Captain Marvel came close. And, I keep saying Wanda, trying to say Monica. And Monica was kind of just like, well, we're not talking about Captain Marvel. We're talking about Wanda. And I'm just like, oh, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? What happened between Monica Rambeau and Captain Marvel since the Captain Marvel movie? What kind of father did they have? You know what I'm saying? I cannot wait to see, what that's about. And, we have a Captain Marvel movie coming out next year. Well, it's scheduled to. Hopefully, we won't be in this pandemic anymore. But we know that Monica Rambeau, Tiana Paris, is going to be in that movie or whatever. So I cannot wait to see, how that plays out and, what their relationship is too, And so that, and Darcy and Jimmy did notice that. But she's like, hey, where's my wardrobe? I have a hunch, you know what I'm saying? And they go throughout the other thing in the facility, in the Source facility. And I like how Monica is putting things together. She's thinking, using her brain, and she figures out that like, okay, hey, every time we go in here, we change. And we knew that from the previous episodes too, but they kind of just fleshed it out a little bit more here, giving us just some more details. And she had that bulletproof vest on, that Kevlar vest, and now, her pants and clothes are like 87% Kevlar. So, that's cool. Now, the only thing I really just didn't care for right here is like, they're shooting in the lab, and I'm just kind of thinking like, okay, did nobody else in the whole facility hear that? That nobody else want to come in there and be like, whoa, there's shots fired and S.W.O.R.D, what's going on? I don't know. I mean, if this episode wanted to be perfect, they could have came in like, what's going on? And, oh, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they had maybe because it was the lab, they always expect crazy noises to come out of there. I don't know. But Wanda, it's just like, okay, so stuff that goes in there, it changes to the age of the period, the decade that, Wanda's creating. So what if we change send something in that does not need to be changed? Now, another great scene right here next is where we have Vision at the office, with his co-workers Norm, and they're trying to send, and S.W.O.R.D sends in an email, and it's like really creepy and eerie hearing all of them, a S.W.O.R.D email, blah, blah, blah. And like Vision is like, what the hell is going on? Why didn't Vision get in the trance either? Why didn't he read the email? Is it because later on in the episode, he was telling Wanda like, hey, you can't control me like you can control them. And so that's interesting right there. But we see right here, this is where like we get an extent of Wanda's powers. She really is holding everybody hostage and taking over their minds. Because Norm was finna lose his mind. He's like, oh, I got a family. I got to call my sister. Where's my phone? What day is it? How long has it been? My father is sick. We're supposed to be taking care of him. It hurts. I'm scared. Tell him to stop. When Vision hits, touches him on the head or whatever. And I'm just like, wow. And Vision again, it's like, what the hell is going on? What is Wanda doing? And like, it's just another example of this episode just getting better and better and better. But this next scene right here is, possibly the best in the whole episode, because they send in the drone, okay? And Wanda and is trying to talk to her boys, but the dog Sparky is like, burf, burf, what's going on? So they send in the drone. Monica don't know what's going on. She's like, hey, I'm just trying to talk. But dumbass Hayward is thinking that he can shoot Wanda with the missile. She has 1,000 people held hostage. She's an Avenger. She, is creating her own reality. And I'm just like, why would you piss this woman off? And like, I mean, maybe I'm thinking, okay, hey, maybe he just wanted to shoot her so that he can try to knock her unconscious and all goes away. I'm not going to get mad at him for trying that, but I mean, man, this is like a next level here threat right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, her powers are like, whoa, y'all already know that she could have took out Thanos because the FBI and all them, Jimmy knew that, so I know you know that too. And you want to make a dumbass decision like this? But Wanda not having it. She comes through with the drone and like, is this yours? Breaking through the barrier. She got her accent back. She got her, comic clothes on, her wardrobe. Like, like, this is y'all final warning now. Leave me alone. I'm not trying to have this. You know what I'm saying? My brother died. I done lost my husband that I had to reanimate. I'm got him back. I'm in my little euphoria right now. Okay, y'all need to leave me the hell alone. But they're like, no, we can't just do that because you holding the whole town hostage, like thousands of people. And Wanda's tripping. You can't do that, Wanda. You just can't do that. But the scene right here is intense, and I'm loving how Wanda's coming over there like, hey, you trusting me? And Wanda's like, look, I got this red key blast on my hand right now. I can just Hadouken like last time. Last time I knocked your ass out of my realm. This time I'm going to disintegrate you, Monica. So back up, back up, back up. But, Hayward over there just talking SHIT. And she flips the guns on him or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, hey, it is what it is. And she goes back in there and she changes the force field. It was kind of like a clearer, transparent color, but now it's like bright red. And I wonder what the hell that means. Maybe nobody else can enter it. Or maybe that's what it is, because people could go in there before. They can send in people, they can send in drones, but maybe no one can go in now. Maybe that's what the red thinks. What do you think? Let me know down in the comment section below. So we got this next scene right here again. They're just going back and forth, and I love it. The little dog dies, And what's kind of interesting is the dogs die, the kids, Weekend and Speed, that are just kind of made up from nothing, are like, Mom, why can't you bring the dog back from life? You have that ability. And Agnes is over here like, whoa, wait a minute, you can do that? What's going on? How can you do that? You can do that? I mean, do y'all think she killed the dog though? What's going on? I cannot wait to know what's going on with Agnes too. I mean, we got to reveal at the end of this episode, but I cannot wait to see what's going on with Agnes, But Vision comes over there too, and trying to console the boys and kind of just seeing what's going on. But I think that this was kind of like a hint of Wanda trying to come to her senses, because she actually, even though she's manipulating everything and everybody to try to get things her way, with this sitcom that she's creating, her own reality, she tries to tell the boys hey, you can't just do what you want. Want something that's dead is dead, but she did bring Vision back to life, but that was not like a real life. It was synthetic or whatever. But, it seemed like she was kind of getting the idea that what she is doing is wrong. But y'all, we got the last scene right here coming up, and my goodness gracious, the roof is on fire. I was not expecting this. And Vision is coming in, as Wanda's doing something with some basket. He's like, hey, I talked to Norm at the job. I didn't talk to him under your control. I talk to the real Norm. You know what I'm saying? And you tripping, Wanda. You having this man under control. He has a family. He's in pain right now. You're holding this man hostage. This is wrong. You can't be doing this. You got to let him go. You got to let him free. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Click, trying to end the episode with the credits or whatever. And I'm just like, no, you can't do that. And then she tries to go to bed. And I'm going to bed. And she's like, no, we're not done here. And, she's still trying to end the thing with the credits and music coming in and all that. And then they go to the other room and the credits go away. It's like he just knocked the credits off the screen. It's just like, stop lying to me. You know what I'm saying? What's going on or whatever? And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And that's where he said, stop lying to me. And his voice got deep. He's like, and starts flying. And then she's like, hold on now. You forgot. I got the red key powers. You know what I'm saying? The key blast. I'm just like, man. I don't think they was about to box, because if they were about to box, Vision would lose. We know that. But it was still like, oh my God, I can't believe they're getting into it like this, you know what I'm saying? But I love it. He's like, they're lying. And he's like, what's outside of Westview? And she's like, what are you talking about? You've never talked to me like this before. And he's like, before what? And I'm like, they got the music. And he's like, before what? I don't remember my life before Westview. I don't remember my life. I'm scared. What's going on? Why are you lying to me? Who am I? And she's like, you are Billy and Tommy's kids. You are my husband. Is that not enough? And before, when she's like, what is outside of Westview? She's like, I don't want to know. I mean, you don't want to know. Trust me. You don't get to make that decision for me, Wanda. And I'm like, man, this right here is just off the chain. And you think that she was about to talk him down, but he comes down and he's like, wait a minute, why are there no children, at the playground or whatever? And Wanda's sitting here do you really think that I'm controlling everything to people waking up, choosing their clothes, going to the dentist appointment? I don't even know how this got started in the first place. And I kind of believe her. I really do. Because, I know that she's in control of a lot of stuff, but I really do think that there is something else going on as well. She's being either pushed to do this, or maybe, I don't know. I just don't feel like it's 100% her. It may be 90% her, 95%. You guys can let me know down in the comment section, but I really do believe her. But guess what? I mean, I don't know, but we're just going to have to see. But guys, the doorbell rings. You know, she was like, I didn't do this. And Vision's like, I don't trust you. And she goes over and open it. And you know that it's Quicksilver. I mean, when you see the silver hair in the back or whatever. But as soon as he turns around and it's the Quicksilver from 20th Century Fox, from that universe, from that X-Men universe, I'm like, what? What the hell is going on? I did not see that coming. No one did. And I still, to this point, I don't know what to think. I don't know how it's going to be explained. I don't know the rationale behind it. I'm just like, is it really him? Or is it just another construct? What is this just her imagination? Like, I don't know. I don't know. It is Quicksilver from Fox, that Pietro from, you know, Evan Peters, not Aaron Taylor Johnson, but Evan Peters, you know, the super fast one, you know. And Darcy is watching this like, whoa, she recast him. And I'm just like, wow, they are really kicking up this multiverse right here, man. The multiverse of madness, that's what's coming in Doctor Strange. So I don't know what to think, guys. It was a great episode and I loved it. I loved it. And we know we got how many? We got 4 episodes left. 4 episodes left, man, and they are, man, we got a nice little cliffhanger right here because I don't know what to think, but it was good, y'all. I was not ready for it. I was not ready. So, I mean, what did you think about the episode, guys? That is just my opinion, okay? My recap, my breakdown. What did you think about it? I loved it. I don't have no theories over here. What did you think? Let me know down in the comment section below. Let's get this conversation going and keep it flowing. If you like this video, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel. Help me reach 30,000 subscribers, guys. And I'll be back next week for episode 6. But guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.